Brother, you're not growing because the niche is saturated. You're not growing because you're not talented. You're simply not growing because you are lacking discipline on something that is absolutely fundamental for any freelance business to grow, which is focus, attention on the things that move the needle. And I don't blame you. I mean, myself, when I started, I suffered from the exact same thing. I would go ahead, start working on something that would feel like super important, and I would spend as much time as I needed on that. But then I always got distracted with things that were not as important as my work, but they felt like they were. Whether it was DMs from people, or maybe I got distracted because I had some team member that was asking a question, or maybe I was just getting distracted because I saw a cool notification that got my attention, and then I went through those doom scrolls on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. I mean, there's so many different ways to get distracted, but at the end of the day, what happens is that this feels good. You lose the sense of time, and you lose the sense of how many hours you actually waste. You go down through the drain, down the drain every single day, and then your work, whatever actually moves the needle, gets to suffer, and then your business doesn't grow. So if this feels like something that also happens with you, I know for sure it happened with me. I'm going to teach you how I've, how I find a way to actually help me understand what was happening, measure my productivity, and most importantly, start getting more results and moving the needle. Okay. And this technique is not something that I've created. This is something that is very, very well known. And I don't really know exactly who created it, but I've seen a lot of content creators and productivity gurus mention this technique, which is the focus blocks. So what this essentially is basically, let's say within your schedule, right? Let's say in your schedule every single day, let's say you have 8 hours of work, you are going to determine what kind of tasks you have to do that are urgent. Okay, so let's say the urgent, that are urgent, good to finish, and then let's say not urgent, but good to have. Okay, so urgent, good to finish, or need to finish, and then not urgent. So let me actually go ahead and need to finish because it's just easier. Need to finish. Okay. Now, these three things, they always happen. It doesn't matter if you are someone that is just getting started or someone that already has a 10K, 20K, 100K per month business. All these are going to be there. It doesn't really matter. You cannot change this, okay? But what you can do is you can change the way you manage this. And this is super important, especially if you're a freelancer doing less than 10K a month. This is something that you need to pay extremely attention. Okay, for two reasons. One, your time is finite. Two, you probably don't have the resources to outsource this to someone so they can manage this for you. Okay, if you're making 25K, 50K a month, then you will have money to invest on that. But if you're making less than 10K, you should not be investing in that. You should have control over that. Okay, so usually what I do is from those 8 hours, I set aside time for 3 specific techniques. And I teach these techniques in my Client Success Code. If you want to learn more about what the Client Success Code, let me know, send me a DM, let's chat. But essentially, it's a 30-day challenge where I teach you my ways of growing a funnel business to 10 to 20K as a solopreneur without needing anyone's help, okay? So essentially, I set up my day into 3 things. The first thing is learning. I need to be learning every single day. If I'm not learning, I'm stagnating. I'm not progressing at all. Okay, you need to be learning. This is kind of bad. Why? Because it feels like a waste of time when you have so many things to take care of. But you need to make sure you build this routine. You need to learn. You need to study at least 30 minutes a day. Essential. Then you have a focus block for delivery. Okay, delivery is where you are working on your main skill. Okay, in my case, it's building funnels. Okay, so I'm going to be building funnels for my majority of my time, because that's what I do. I build funnels for clients. I build funnels for myself. I help, I build funnels for my membership, funnel house, and all that stuff. So I need to do this. And then here is basically selling. Okay, so learning, delivering, and selling. So the way that I basically organize this is learning. I just pick one topic that I want to study. Right now, I'm studying marketing in AI. That's what I'm studying right now. Okay, but it could be design for you, or it could be copy for you. It could be whatever else. Okay, focus on one topic, select the one topic, and make sure that you learn that. Okay, don't skip it. But if you bought a course, go through the entire course. If you bought a book, read the entire book. Don't skip things. Okay. Then delivery is whatever you are doing. If you are building funnels for your clients, amazing. If you are building funnels for yourself as a portfolio, amazing. This is your delivery, okay? So in my case, it's just funnels, whether it's for clients or something else. And I always do around 4 hours a day for these, because if you do 4 hours a day consistently and you are semi-good or good enough, you are going to make huge progress. You can deliver funnels in like 3 days. You are all good, okay? Now, selling. Selling is where I do at least 2 hours a day, because these 2 hours a day are going to be fundamental for me to always keep growing and stacking, compounding, okay? Now, these are the three main things, okay? So here, this is leads plus, let's say, leads and offers, okay? So this is what I do. Now, if you understand this part, we have 4 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes. So we have 6 hours and 30 minutes. Maybe it's a why, because every single time within each focus block, you're going to do like 10 minutes pause. So you waste or you don't use that time for working. And plus, there's always things that go outside your schedule or your scope that are also going to take time from you. Okay, so 6 hours a day, it's good. 6 hours, 6 hours and a half is good, because the other hour and a half, they're going to be a little bit unpredictable, because you always have things that are unpredictable, but you have to have those things in mind, and you need to organize your time that way. Okay, so this leads us to the next thing, which is need to finish and not urgent. The not urgent you add in the time of that an hour and a half that you have extra. Okay, that is something that you absolutely need to do. If it's not urgent and you find yourself with a bit of time, you can do it. Need to finish is exact same thing, or when you finalize your urgent tasks. Okay, this is what you do, but you always start with your urgent tasks. Now, with that said, how do I actually organize my day? Okay, so I have the learning, delivery, and selling. So my day is going to look something like this. Okay, so I have 3 blocks. And learning, I always start my day with learning. I read or take a course for 30 minutes. If I have too much things going on and I have a course that I really need to take that demands more time, I don't just do 30 minutes. I do 30 minutes in the morning. First thing I do, 30 minutes. And then at the end of the day, I take an extra 1 to 2 hours, which means that I'm going to sleep a little bit less, or that I'm going to take a little bit less, time to chill or be with the family or whatever it is. Okay, but if this is urgent, I need to do it. So if I need to extend from 8 hours a day to 10 hours a day, I'll do it. Okay, I'm not a big fan of extending more than 10, 20, 12 hours, because that's just, it's not sustainable. I feel, at least for me, it hasn't been sustainable at all. There was times when I work in 12 hours, 14 hours a day, but it didn't lead me anywhere. It was just very frustrating, exhausting. So 8 to 10 hours is something that is okay. But 10 hours is just if you have really something super urgent and important, and you need those extra 1 to 2 hours. Okay, so that's what I would do. Now, afterwards, we have delivery. So delivery, I always spend around 3 to 4 hours. And here I do just build a funnel. And what I do is I do 50 minutes plus 10 minutes. So 50 minutes focused work, and I have this small thing, which is a digital clock right here, okay, where it just does one thing, which is has a countdown timer, okay? So I do 50 minutes, focused, nothing else. I have my noise canceling headphones. I don't have any distractions on my side. I am focused on my monitor. I remove any distractions. I remove any distractions from my phone or whatever. I don't have notifications whatsoever on my desktop, but I do have notification on my phone for those times when I need to check those notifications. But on my computer, I have no notifications. Okay, so 50 minutes plus 10, 50 minutes plus 10, and I repeat this for 3 to 4 blocks. Okay, so 50, 50, 10, 10. So 3 to 4 blocks. And if you do this consistently, you're going to make progress. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to make progress in funnel building. You don't need more than this. If someone says you need 8 hours to build funnels, you don't need that. If you do 4 hours a day, that's more than enough to make progress. But you need to be consistent. That's the key. Okay, so this is delivery. Then we have selling. So for selling, I don't have a specific time of the day, but I do have for content creation. So I have content creation. Then you have DMs. Then you have sales calls. This is it. Okay, this is the only thing you need. So content creation, I always do right after the 30 minutes I'm studying because I'm more inspired. So I write content. If you want to learn more about how to write content, I actually have a course on that and I have a membership on that. So if you want to learn more about that, I write content. I shoot video, so short form, or I shoot video, a long form. This is fundamental. You need to be doing this every single day. If you are not, you are losing a lot of traction and a lot of compounding effect because this compounds like crazy and helps you to become better and more known and more valuable in the market without actually having to, spend any time on that. You just spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes a day doing this, and it stacks really, really well. Then you do DMings. I don't spend a specific amount of time in DMs because of 2 reasons. One, I have automation that I set up 20 minutes times 3 a day. I have FlowChat for that. So I use FlowChat for that. It's a software that allows me to do that. If you want to learn more about that, I actually have a course and a discount coupon on that. So you can also utilize that. And then I reply to my DMs. So when do I reply? I reply when I'm taking those 10 minutes off or when I'm outside of working. Okay, so this is something I do after those 8 hours of work. Then I always have my phone with me, okay, so I can reply. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Maybe I'm eating dinner, okay, or maybe I'm just watching a movie, or maybe I'm playing video games or whatever it is, right? I don't usually play a lot these days, but it's something I love to do. But I always have my phone with me. So this is kind of bad for people that are around you because they are going to see you always getting disrupted and interrupted, but it just depends on how your relationship is with your surroundings, with your environment. But this is something that is absolutely important for me. It has allowed me to be much more efficient. But also, the main thing about that is that I have 2 businesses. I have a done for you funnel business and I have a coaching business. So the coaching business takes a lot more time than the done for you. Done for you is super simple to do, but the coaching is the one that takes the most time. So this is also the reason why I have to spend so much time with that. But if I didn't have a coaching business, my life would be much easier because I wouldn't need to do all that stuff. But anyway, it's just a side note. If you are not doing 2 things at a time, if you are just focusing on done for you, you don't need to do this as much. Those 8 hours are going to be enough for you, okay? Because they stack pretty much. Okay. Now, then you have slots for the sales calls. I usually do around 2 slots, maybe 3 slots maximum for sales calls. I have days set up for this because I have a very busy schedule. I have my done for you. I have my coaching business as well. So I have weekly calls. I have coaching one-on-one calls, and I have sales calls. So it's a lot of stuff. So I have dedicated days for that during the week. I cannot allow myself to open the entire calendar because of that reason. Okay, so for sales calls, usually it's going to be around, I have a spot on Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Thursday, and sometimes I open on Saturdays as well, and Fridays. But for coaching, I have Tuesday, I have Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. I don't have Monday, I don't have Friday, and Saturday, it's very rare that I open, just in case I actually need it, but it's very, very rare. Okay, so this is something that you want to see what works best for you. You don't have the problem that I do with coaching calls, so it's going to be much easier for you. But I do open a few schedules on those few days of the week, and this is everything you need to focus on and agree on. Okay, it's not something that is set in stone and it's done. You want to create this for you. You want to think about it. You want to create this for you. Really think about what's feasible for you, and then check the results every week. Okay, see how much time you spent working on each thing. How do you are thinking about everything? See about every month. See about your productivity. Where are your leaks? So where are you going off a little bit, because you are going to be off. I know I did multiple times, hundreds of times. So I had to readjust until I got something that actually worked very well for me. But this is essential. You don't need more than this. You don't need to buy a productivity course. I've done it multiple times. I bought dozens. I'm not even exaggerating. Dozens of software, especially on Black Fridays. I bought dozens of productivity software. Nothing worked with me. I bought courses on Asana. I bought courses on ClickUp. I bought courses on Airtable with AI and not AI, with Zapier automations. I tested a lot of different things. Okay, I read a lot of books, Atomic Habits. I read the 4-hour work week. I read a lot of different things. And at the end of the day, I didn't find one specific thing that worked for me. I found small things, bits and pieces that then I combine into one simple thing. And this has been working very well for me. Okay. Now I do find myself to have some I find myself to have a few times during the year where stress combines, and then it becomes harder to do this. So when that happens, I usually take a step back and take a little bit more rest days, or not rest days, but rest hours, and chill a little bit on the a lot of stuff. But it doesn't happen more than 2 times a year, 3 times a year, maybe. Okay, so this is something that it doesn't interrupt you or disrupt you if you are paying attention to it. But if you're not paying attention to it, it scales, becomes super hard, and it's going to overtake your entire life. So you want to really pay attention to this. When you feel like you are going on a spiral and becoming harder and harder to do, you need to chill. You need to pause. You need to see where's the problem. You need to see you need to analyze your life. But usually when this happens, you can maintain consistency, and then every 3, 4, 5 months maybe, if you feel like you are a little bit more stressed, then you can analyze and try to see what kind of things you need to remove, because usually it's around removing things from your life, not allowing things happening. For example, bad projects or stressful clients or stressful relationships with friends or whatever it is, you kind of want to adjust that. But this is pretty much about it. Focus Blood has literally saved my business and saved me from all that stress and inconsistency that I actually had for a long time, years and years and years. And this allows me to have my Done For You business. This allows me to have my coaching business, memberships, my time with my family, with my friends as well. More with my family. I don't go out a lot because I don't really like that. But if you do enjoy that, that's something that you can do. If you have any questions, let me know. I actually have some paid resources that help with this tremendously. I have my academy for lead generation and growing a business. I have my funnel house to learn how to become better and faster in building funnels. So if these are a few topics that you'd like to dive deeper, go ahead, explore those things. Join for a month and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. There's no contracts or whatsoever. But I do believe that you're going to love it, because it's just something in the environment that I've built to be there to help you and to give you pretty much, share the knowledge that I have in bits of content. So this is pretty much about it. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, just let me know.